4 days, 4 work conference, cocktail hours, dinners, general chaos on my feet, and I did it all in a wedge heel. This is the FRANKIE4 Baker Wedge in black. Hi everyone, I'm Megan and this is Step and Repeat, the show for people who travel for work and produce and attend events, trade shows, and conferences. You know who you are. You're the ones with foam rollers and the blister patches living in your carry-on. Every month, I test one product in real work travel conditions, and I tell you exactly whether it's worth your money. No fluff, no press releases, just my feet and my honest opinion. This month, we're looking at the FRANKIE4 Baker Wedge in black. I wore them at the Site Global Conference, and here's everything that happened. So before we get into the results, the context of this shoe matters. So let's talk about FRANKIE4, the brand. It's an Australian footwear brand founded by a woman named Sarah Timmers in 2010. She built the brand on one premise, that you should not have to choose between a shoe that looks good and a shoe that doesn't destroy your feet. And that is exactly what Step and Repeat is here for. So we love the story and mission behind this brand because that's what we're looking for those who work events. Comfort isn't an afterthought, it's the entire foundation. They're also a certified B Corporation, which means they meet verified standards for social and environmental performance. They source their leather responsibly, have over 150,000 five-star reviews globally. So this isn't a brand that stumbled into a good reputation. You can see even the sustainability from their packaging, cardboard that's recyclable, handles on the boxes. So I'm assuming if you buy from brick and mortar retail store and not online, that they probably don't use bags. Everything comes in this box. So absolutely love the packaging and the branding so far. So let's get into the Baker. This is a wedge sandal, 80 millimeters with a 25 millimeter platform on the front. Typically, I don't wear anything over 85. And if it is over 85 millimeters, it's gotta have some kind of cushion or a few millimeters of padding on the front platform to be the most comfortable. It changes the angle of your foot. We can always get into that at another time. So the actual lift of your foot feels about maybe 2 inches or so. It's very wearable. It has their Sole Hero footbed, which was podiatrist designed, so you can feel the extra cushion in the heel, in the arch, and also in the forefront. I could definitely feel the difference with this straight out of the box. As I mentioned, this is genuine leather. It's good quality with the ankle strap. Very, very quality made shoe. A couple of the details on this, it does give very resort chic, which is why I wore it to the site conference. We were at a resort, a few resorts actually throughout the UAE. But this is elevated, it's classic, it photographs beautifully, but did it survive work? So let's get into it. I wore these for 4 consecutive days at the site conference, straight out of the box, no questions asked, literally took the paper off of it and put it straight on my feet. Did just under 37,000 steps over 4 days. On day 1, at about 6,000 steps, I was feeling tired. My feet were feeling a little tired. There was potentially a blister coming on, but I will say it never actually materialized. So after about 3 o'clock, I was mostly seated with dinners and receptions. So that gave my foot a break, which might be why the blister never came, but also it could not have been the case. Either way, no blisters actually were made. On day 2, I had similar step count, around 10,000 or so. From day 1 to day 2, the ankle strap did irritate me a little bit. I think that had more to do with my body is not used to having an ankle strap, and my skin was also extremely dry from being in the desert. So I would have just lotioned up, which I did, and didn't have an issue again on day 2 or beyond. The compliment rate on day 2, really on all of the days, was medium to low, but that's mainly because I was wearing maxi dresses, skirts, and pants, so no one really saw the shoes. Not a fault of the shoe, just a fault of the way I was styling it. By day 4, I was putting in another 10,000 plus steps on day 4. And at that point, it was completely broken in, doing its job without asking for anything in return. No blisters, no scratches. It was great. So like I said, total step count was just under 37,000. Wedge heel straight out of the box. So that alone is incredibly impressive. So every shoe here at Step and Repeat gets a scorecard. So let's see where we came in with the Baker. So we've got a 90 out of a 100. So this is definitely a top buy. 8-hour test, 10 out of 10, support 10 out of 10, aesthetic list, all the basically beauty and function of the shoe is great. The one call outs here, boardroom to evening, so boardroom to bar. I did take off 1 point only because this is resort chic and not necessarily boardroom-ish. So if you're thinking about where to wear it in your boardroom, I typically wear a closed-toed shoe, not a wedge. So keep that in mind. It's also, because it's a wedge, not very packable. So I did take some points off for that. Again, not a fault of the shoe, just given what it is. Wedges are probably one of the hardest shoes to pack over there. So it can cross into more formal settings if you need it to. And again, the quality of this shoe is great. So the sustainability of how it's made and how it's going to hold up, I gave it very high marks there as well. So is the FRANKIE4 Baker worth $214? My verdict is buy, but with 2 notes. So the shoe was built for event professionals who need to look polished and stay on their feet. Think incentive programs, resort conferences, hotel ballrooms, outdoor receptions, cocktail hours, things like that. This is your shoe. It's less boardroom and more like Four Seasons terrace, but it can do both situations if it calls for it. So note 1 is size down half a size if you're between sizes. Note 2, moisturize your ankles before day 1. If you are prone to dry skin like me, just get some extra lotion on there, or keep the ankle strap a little bit looser. I might have tied it a little too tight. So if your events are exclusively on hard concrete trade show floors all day, I might look for one of the sneakers or a closed toe shoe. Like I said, this is a sandal wedge. It has a lane and it knows it and it stays in that lane. Would I buy it again? Absolutely, yes. I'm already eyeballing the tan color. This is the shoe you buy when you're done letting your footwear be the reason your day ends early. This very easily went from day to night, and I wasn't even thinking about my feet as I was doing quick outfit changes and getting prepared for the evening. I did link in the description a link to the shoe. We're working with FRANKIE4 right now to try to get some discount codes for you guys, so we will add them to the description as well. And if you found this helpful, subscribe. I do this every single month. One product, real conditions, honest scoring. And if you want to see everything I've tested, everything currently in the process of being tested, and you can also submit your products for me to review, that lives all in the Step and Repeat lab. We'll link over to that as well. So be sure to drop a comment. Tell me what you think. Have you tried the Baker wedge before? Do you own FRANKIE4s? I'd love to hear what your favorite shoes are from this brand. But for now, I'm Megan Martin. This is Step and Repeat, and we'll see you next month.